What's up, y'all? Let's talk a little bit today about spot reduction. And I know some of you may have heard on various media or maybe in person that you can't really spot reduce body fat. And I've even said it, so some of you may have heard it from me. And usually for me, it's an attempt to get people to stop focusing on the wrong stuff because people come in with some vision of somebody else that they want to have, you know, some vision of somebody else they've seen that they want to look like. And basically, what it boils down to is some Instagram chick or some star, movie star, or singer or something, and they want to look exactly like it. They want to lose their belly, they want to gain some booty and some boobies. And it's usually women. Most guys, they're pretty simple. They want to lift a bunch of weights and not do no cardio. But a lot of times, just to get people out of my face, I'll say, look, man, you can't spot reduce belly fat, and mostly that's because I want them to focus more on their overall body composition. You need to worry about getting leaner, and I don't know how many times I've had to say that. Stop worrying about this body part and that body part and my thighs and and when am I going to see this and when am I going to see that. Just chill, man, and work out and get lean, and then let the results fall where they may, because your genetics going to play into it. I can't tell you what you're going to look like when you get lean. um, and there's no like build a whatever you want type program. At the end of the day, we can work specific areas to make sure that your muscle is developed in those specific areas, which is going to, by nature, reduce the body fat in those particular areas. So yes, I do technically believe that you can spot reduce belly fat, and here's why. And I don't come unless I come correct with some information and some data and some evidence. All right. So this is a fat or body composition testing software that I use on my computer. Comes with an ultrasound tester that I use to test millimeter thickness in specific areas of my body. It's the same concept as calipers, but it's more consistent because you're using an ultrasound ray and not it's not dependent on how well you squeeze the calipers and all that. So it's going to be more consistent than calipers. Calipers can be as accurate, but it's just too hard to keep that stuff consistent. And this way, I don't have to write it down on a piece of paper. It's saved right into my software. And so basically, I take three measurement points: my thigh, my chest, and my waist. And those points are used to give me a regional body fat percentage. I guess those have been determined to be the best places to determine your regional body fat in the area. So your waist will give you the body fat for your abdomen, your chest, on your pecs for guys, triceps for girls, will give you an idea of your upper body fat percentage, like your arms and your chest across. And then obviously your waist will kind of give you the trunk area body fat. And so my trunk has always been a problem area for me. Kind of runs in the family. We run thick around the waist, which is for a lot of people. And I think a lot of that, has had to do with, lifestyle, ethnic, cultural eating type habits. So I've had to kind of change those over time and, change those impressions for my family as well. So keep that in mind, man. Everything that you do is going to be a residual effect for your friends and family if you can teach them and get them to accept the same thing. So anyway, I take these three body composition measurements, and looking at peaks here. There's a graph, and it shows you exactly where that falls. At the bottom, you can see the millimeters of thickness, and then it just kind of gives you the ultrasound signal on the left. But this kind of tells me about where this millimeter thickness falls, and then they use a calculation to determine your overall body fat. Now, there's other, you can measure more sites and other sites all over your body. There's one theory that uses 7 sites, but I find out to be pretty much the same as this one. All right, so here's my trend since the beginning of the year. I start off in January, a few, probably a week into January. I was in the middle of a fast, a spiritual fast. So basically, I wasn't eating meat. It was hard to get protein sources. It's basically similar to a vegan diet. And so you could see, uh, my body fat was fairly high coming through the holidays. And so by the end of January, I had come off the fast, started eating back normally. You can see a slight reduction, in my waist. Um, my chest actually went up a little bit, but my thighs started to go down, just due to diet and exercise. These are small changes, but I always keep an eye on these small changes. Just given my body fat percentage, I have to keep an eye on the little things. And so I was 4.8, 3.4, and 3.4 on January 9th, and then 4.6, 3.6, and 3.1 on January 31st. And other than my chest went up, I had a little bit of aggravating shoulder issue going on in January, so I cut back on, some of my upper body workouts. Not necessarily my arms, but my upper body overall. And so it showed kind of on the chest because you really can't target your chest without your shoulders. Like you just really almost you pretty much can't do it. So you can see where my body fat went up as opposed to the other two that went down. All right. And so getting into February, I started to really focus and you'll see a big reduction in my waist. My chest went way down, almost a full millimeter once I got back to doing my chest workouts, and my thigh even went down almost a half a millimeter. So across the board, you can see an improvement in my body composition pretty much everywhere. And this is about when I started that last video I made regarding the abs. If you haven't watched that, check it out. This is about when I started doing those exercises. So these are very, very quick turnaround type results. And so I continued that. This was February 4th to February 10th. I continued to do those exercises. You can see a big reduction in my waist from 4.2 to 3.5. That's a pretty big reduction. But the point here is that you see that both my chest and my thigh actually went up. So overall, my conditioning that week wasn't great, and your body composition, just like your weight, is going to fluctuate up and down. You can see here, my body fat overall went up. However, during the same period, my waist millimeter of fat thickness actually went down. And so to me, that says that you can spot treat. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than that. And I've watched my body composition with DEXA scans, and I've seen variations in specific parts of my body based on how I've been training, my diet, all of these things. So you can definitely spot treat, or at the very least, you can region treat. Like you can lose fat in your center section and maintain in your arms and your legs. You know, and since we're using one point to get basically a regional body fat percentage, these are actually spot points. These are points on my body that are being used to gather these measurements. So these are actually spot treatments, technically. So those lower abs, like I mentioned in the ab video, are hard to target. Uh, and I've been doing all kind of exercises trying to figure out the best way to target them. And man, just extending those knees out from the chest without doing all the throw downs and all that stuff that's just crucial vice type actions on your on your back. Just kicking that thing out, man. And there's a lot of Pilates exercises that are really good for this. But keep that in mind, man. If you can really target those lower abs, it can make a huge difference. Now, keep in mind, it's not going to matter if your cortisol levels are high from stress or if you're not getting enough rest. Your lower belly fat is not going anywhere. And if you have a lot of fat on top of it where you can't see your muscle definition yet, you shouldn't even be considering this. I would say maybe low 20s to high teens for females, and for guys like 15s to mid-teens to under 10% body fat. Should start considering doing some targeting for specific muscle groups. Now you should work your abs, you should work all the muscle groups in your body so that you have good muscular balance, but you shouldn't be trying to target. I see people all the time on machines. They're overweight. They can't see any muscle definition. Yet they're in there trying to do these specific exercises to target their abs and do all this stuff. Those side bends and all that crap you see are not gonna burn through 30 millimeters of fat. You got to get your behind on that doggone treadmill or something and get some cardio, and you get your behind in the kitchen and start prepping some meals. And speaking of which, I've been prepping my meals since pretty much the first part of January, and that's made a huge difference too. I've been sticking to real basic, as basic as I can make it. You got a basic till you make it. But anyway, you can see I continued on, and you can see a basically my weight stayed about the same. I made a huge jump when I started the ab training, and so I basically maintained through basically the next like uh, like week and a half. And you'll see here that uh, my weight went up, but my body fat went down. That signifies that I'm gaining muscle or I'm burning fat and retaining my muscle. So I'm either gaining muscle while burning fat, or I'm you know losing fat while retaining muscle. And those are the hardest things to do. Your diet has got to be on point. Your workout regimen has got to be on point because it's easier to lose muscle and fat at the same time. So I don't know if I'll get much lighter than I am now. I just want to continue on the path that I am and hope that these results continue to progress as they are. But as you can see, you can really start to target once you get yourself lean. You can really start to target specific areas of your body. And so this is a new software that I upgraded to from my personal software so that I could get my clients and kind of have some historical data on the body composition and things like that. Because I'm a detail oriented guy, I like to know what's going on. And I don't back down from challenges. People say stay away from the scale because you don't want to be disappointed. Whatever, man. If you want to lose some weight and you got to go to lose some weight, get your behind on that scale and let's lose some weight, man. Stop being scared because people get scared of failure, and so they try to avoid the difficult situations. Well, it's going to be difficult, man, if you're going to achieve your goals. You got to stare your adversity and your extra weight in the face and say, I'm going to kick you in your lip and your chest. I'm going to pick my foot up and karate kick you, roundhouse kick you in the face and get this weight up off me. Get up off me. That's how you got to attack your goals. All right. I'm D White. Hope this video is helpful for you guys. And just be on the lookout, man. I'm about to make all kinds of videos. Y'all need to keep in touch, man, so y'all can get lean. Cause by summertime, I'm gonna be popping, popping. I'm gonna be all kinds of popping. So if you want to be popping too, holla at your boy. I'm D White. Holla at y'all in the next video.